Hello boys and girls, Elias and Sergio are here for you tonight, and we decided to talk about water cooling gear, give you some facts and maybe help you with some tips or some experience that we had. Today I'm gonna talk about these radiators. Just this time we have two radiators from EK Water Blocks. It's the EK-CoolStream RADs. One is 240 millimeters and the other one is 360. But it's not just the radiators that we are going to talk about, or the brand or something. Most of all, and the most important part in this case is how you install the radiator, how you install the fans, and how you handle everything. So I'm gonna open them up. These ones come with pretty standard screws and tools set. Same applies to 360 millimeters. Again with screws and tools. So it's very important not how thick the radiator is. Of course it plays some role, but the most important part is how long it is. This one is 360 millimeters and it comes, it's a copper radiator, just painted pretty nicely. Here you have two ports here for different routing. Depends on if you're gonna have them stacked, so you can route them, connect to each other. And here you have a drain or fill port. Depends how you're gonna use it, but mostly for drain. Pre-screwed in, so you don't have to worry about it if you want to leave it there. It should be secure. Always good to check it, but So I'm gonna have the second one next to it. Just if you like to see them, there are two plastic ones, which you can unscrew, and it's a pretty standard thread. It's a quarter of an inch, 1/4 of an inch thread. Pretty standard for most fittings and angled fittings, straight fittings for your tubing. It's always good to remember that when you take it out, you need to make sure that you're careful with the fins, that you don't bend them, because if you bend them, the air is not going to go through. And when you install the fan on top of them, it's very, very important not to use too long screws too long to penetrate and make a hole in your radiator. This is why EK Water Blocks in this case provides a warning piece of paper which says before mounting the radiator to your before mounting the radiator and fans on it, make sure that you're using the right length of screws. If you're using too long, it can penetrate and then they are not going to be under warranty. So if you damage it, you can have some specialist to fix it, or you could just throw it away. Something very important to remember is that you cannot use the radiator out of the box just as it is. You need to make sure that you wash it first, because there is some metal residue inside, or dust, or some other dirt, some other particles which might still stay in. So you need to make sure that you wash it a couple of times with the clean water, and you dry it well before you start pouring in your liquid coolant. So what to remember: first, make sure that you are using the screws of correct length, not to penetrate the radiator. Second is to wash the radiator before you use it. You need to make sure that nothing stays inside and affect your build, or you just see something circulating in your cooling loop. And you need to make sure, always plan your setup, make sure that it's going to fit in your case. It's quite thick, it's 50 millimeters, so if it's too thick, it's not going to fit. And you should also count the fans if you plan to do push and pull. Also very important to remember that for this kind of radiators, you don't use normal fans. You need to use static pressure fans, which provide more performance when they blow against something. So there is a resistance here, so you need to make sure that you're using proper fans. There are fans from Corsair, the SP series, that are designed especially for this kind of cases, when you use it against this radiator, and it provides you with more cooling performance. So if you use it in push-pull configuration, which is the optimal one, then you're going to have a very thick piece of hardware. So you need to think about that as well. What else? You need to also make sure that you change the coolant in your system every now and then, every couple of years, depending on the coolant that you're using. We used Mayhem's coolants, with distilled water, the concentrate, so it lasts around 2 to 3 years. But you need to make sure that you're using decent coolant and distilled water, because if you use normal water, it's gonna build up small pieces of stone salt in your system, and it's gonna limit the water flow. So I think this is it. If you have questions about water cooling or radiator, just post your comments down below. Subscribe for more videos from us regarding water cooling hardware, or any other hardware that is related to electronics or computers. Thanks for watching for now, and see you soon. Bye bye.